These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
I'm pretty confident talking into a mic. Hey, I'm doing it right now. But home projects? I second guess everything. Is that noise normal? Is that water damage? Who do I even call? That's where Thumbtack comes in. Just upload a photo or voice note, and it uses AI-powered search to match you with the right top-rated local pro. So instead of guessing, you get clarity and can hire with confidence. For your next home project, try Thumbtack. Hire the right pro today.
Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Alaina.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is a very special edition of Morbid.
Let's Not Meet edition.
Yeah. We have Andrew from Let's Not Meet on the pod, guys. We're going to tell some tales today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. You guys were on my show, right?
Yes. Yep.
Earlier
I think
this year,
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I think so.
We got to get you guys back on too.
I know. Yeah. That was really fun. If you guys haven't listened to Let's Not Meet, go listen to it. It is weirdly soothing.
It's so soothing, but also so terrifying.
Yeah.
I'll listen as I'm home alone sometimes, while Drew's at work and he gets home and I'm like, oh! And he's like, what are you listening to? I'm like, let's not meet. Get away from me. But with that being said, we have some tales. Andrew has some tales. So you guys want to get into this?
Let's go. We're going to do this round robin style, kind of how we do. We found that this is a really good guest format. People seem to dig it. So we're going to do it here because it really works for Andrew, especially because this is very much kind of the format of your podcast. So I think.
Yeah. So on my podcast, I just, I tell listener tales like you do on these little episodes here. And they're true horror stories. They're first person encounters written by the authors, the people that experienced them. And so I have a couple of stories here to share and I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited.
I feel like yours are going to be so terrifying.
It's pretty spooky.
We got some spooky ones too. Maybe we should have a little competition right now.
I was going to say.
Just kidding.
Let's see who comes out on top because I have a Damon doll. So.
Well,
ooh.
Yeah.
I have a flesh pedestrian tale.
Ooh.
Do you know what a flesh pedestrian is?
Pedestrian. I like the sound of it, but I don't know what it is.
So trigger warning for all those folks that know what a flesh pedestrian is and don't want to hear me explain it, skip a little bit forward. So we call them flesh pedestrians, but they're actually skinwalkers. Have you heard of skinwalkers?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm pretty close to Skinwalker Ranch. It's just a state over. I have another podcast called Odd Trails. It's like the sister podcast to Let's Not Meet, where we do true paranormal stories rather than encounters with creeps and weirdos, things like that. And we've actually talked about going to Skinwalker Ranch and just camping out there, because they'll let you just go out there and camp. I don't know if you know much about Skinwalker Ranch, but it's like the hotbed of not only skinwalkers, but all kinds of weird stuff. But yeah, definitely familiar with the skinwalkers. I've never heard them referred to as flesh pedestrians.
One of our listeners came up with it on like Twitter or something, because people don't like the SW term. Do you remember why?
I think it just like, it's like a very much a part of some people's like culture when they were growing up, their culture, and it's like very real to them, which like maybe it's like it's really scary.
A word that you're not supposed to say out loud. You know,
it's like a bad omen.
Like I think it's one of those. It's like we don't talk about it.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
Yeah.
So one of our listeners was like, "Why don't we call them flesh pedestrians?" And I think that is the funniest term for that. Every time I hear it, I laugh.
Honestly, it just sounds like a good band name.
Oh, yeah, it really does.
That is.
I'm going to go see Flesh Pedestrian at the cafe later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We are Flesh Pedestrian. I love that we just did that at the same time.
Yes.
So yeah, with all that being said, let's hear about this Flesh Pedestrian tale.
Let's go.
All right. This person says, I've wanted to write in a tale to your show for a very long time now. My issue was that I've had way too many paranormal, creepy things happen to me that I didn't even know what to choose.
Jealous.
I know, right? I could have written about my psychic abilities, my college professor who became my low-key stalker, my time working in the Families of Murder Victims department in Philadelphia, or the murder that happened my first week of college right on my campus. My first instinct, though, was to write about how I grew up quite literally haunted, and how whatever it was seemed to follow me for years. But that would probably be like 50 pages long. So if you're interested in hearing about that, just let me know. I'll gladly type it out and send it in. Trust me, it's crazy from start to finish. But the story I settled on features my mom, a flesh pedestrian, and my 11th birthday.
Wow.
I have, and always will be, insanely fucking annoying about my birthday. Me too. Maybe that's why I picked this tale.
I was just going to say, I'm not saying anything.
I'm self-proclaimed annoying. I'm self-proclaimed fucking annoying about my birthday.
There you go.
I used to deny it, but after years and years of self-reflection, I found it to be true. I used to always tell people that my birthday was my favorite holiday.
Wow.
Me too. I would, and still do, plan elaborate adventures on my birthday that are mandatory for my entire family to attend.
Wait, did you write this?
No. Is this you? This is my long-lost sister. Can you tell that I'm an absolute control freak? My dad literally laughed out loud when I told him that I ordered myself a tiara and a birthday sash this year and got tickets for everyone, yes, even my parents, to attend a Taylor Swift club night with me this year.
It's amazing.
If I'm insufferable on my birthday as a 24-year-old now, you can imagine how crazy I was about it when I was 11. My 11th birthday started out very strange. I would always wake up at the crack of dawn, forcing everyone to also wake up so we could start celebrating as soon as possible. Once again, I'm very fucking annoying. But on this birthday, my dad came into my room and told me not to come downstairs. He explained that something had happened to my mom the night before, and they hadn't had time to get things ready for me. He gave me my favorite book to reread for the millionth time, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and promised me that everything would be okay and he'd come to get me soon.
This is so creepy already.
I know.
Like, that's so ominous.
It is. And guess what? They said I was livid. How dare they not have their shit together? I took personal offense. This was right before the childhood illusion ended, and I actually started to see my parents as real people and shit. That was a reality check for sure. After my initial anger subsided a bit, I started to think more about why my parents weren't ready. This never happened. They were always so good at making me feel so special and loved all the time, but especially on my birthday. I started to get nervous. Did he say something happened to Mom? I started to put the pieces together. She had gone on a late run on a nearby trail. Yeah, I know, not the best idea. She's 5'2" and like 100 pounds dripping wet. Even though she's a total badass, she shouldn't be out running at night alone. Good call. If I remember correctly, I don't believe I saw her before she went to bed, which was also very unlike her. My parents always tucked me in together. That's adorable. It wasn't long before my anxiety was making me spiral. Eventually, my dad came back into my room and guaranteed me that everything was okay and it was time to come downstairs. I asked about Mom and he said that she'd tell me the whole story. I was intrigued. So here's what happened. The state park near where we lived was gorgeous. It was tempting. No, it wasn't.
It was not tempting.
It was teeming with wildlife and beauty. I remember it feeling like a safe haven, a sanctuary of sorts. We spent our summers splashing and swimming in the creeks and our winters bundling up and hiking in the snow. The versatility of our hometown was stunning. It always amazed me to notice the different beauty that each season offered. You're a New Englander and I can tell.
Yep.
It felt refreshing. However, I almost just said however and went fully New England. However.
You felt it.
I did. I had never experienced the park at night. Even though I appreciated the park for all that it was worth, there was something about the deep woods that always gave me the smallest feeling that I was being watched. I'm very spiritually sensitive, hence the whole being haunted thing. So I was always very cautious. There's just something about the woods, man. I truly believe there are so many creatures and cryptids and spirits in the woods, and as much as I respect them, I have always been very aware of them. I don't think my mom used to believe in this stuff as much as I do, but this night changed her.
Ooh.
She had left to go on a long run before sunset. Yes, she's one of those people who likes to run for fun. I'm slowly trying to make myself one of those people, but it's taking a really fucking long time.
It's hard, man.
I like
Whenever
to tell people that I am.
Yeah. Whenever I run, I feel like my lungs are bleeding, so
Oh, yeah.
it's not for me.
It's not. I've discovered it's not for me.
Yeah, that's like a real thing, though.
It is. You can like taste blood when you run.
Yeah. Really,
It's like normal, I guess.
really interesting experience. That's been happening to me since I was like younger.
Yeah. And I love how you didn't say anything about that until you were like an adult. You were like, hey, does anyone else taste blood when they run? And we were like, what?
I kind of just thought everyone did.
No, I've never tasted blood when I ran.
No.
Yeah, anytime I run. But I forget what
It's not a problem.
The explanation behind it is that like your lungs actually let out a little bit of blood or something like that.
I don't
That's
remember
terrifying.
what Yeah.
Yeah.
The human body is a horror show.
So I walk at a
Truly.
brisk pace. But anyway,
I power walk.
yeah. It was a crisp November day, November 18th to be exact. But since she was running, she hadn't bundled up much. I think she was aiming to run her normal loop that was anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. Holy shit. I said that.
I said that.
She began her run. My mom was about 2 miles into her run. Her loop that she ran was deep in the woods. She knew the sun was setting very quickly, but she figured she could easily make it back to the car. Since the park technically closes to the public at dusk, she knew she was probably the only person still in the woods. All of a sudden, a horrible realization dawned on her, and I can only imagine the sheer terror she felt. She had dropped her keys somewhere along the trail.
Oof.
Not good.
That's a bad hit.
Nighttime was quickly swallowing the park whole, and it wouldn't be long until she was engulfed in darkness. She checked her phone. She had no service, and her phone was dying without any way to charge it, which meant she wouldn't be able to use it much longer as a flashlight or attempt to call anyone to help her.
She's in an actual horror movie.
Yeah. Before her phone died completely, she sent a panic text to my dad and prayed that by some miracle it would be delivered to him even though she didn't have service. And then her phone died. She was completely alone, deep in the forest, and the temperature was rapidly dropping as the world around her was getting increasingly darker. She backtracked to try to find her keys. She knew they had to be on the trail, but without a flashlight, it was going to be nearly impossible to find them. With only a little visibility left, she saw something that terrified her and honestly still haunts her. Up ahead on the trail, she saw a creature jump out from the bushes and disappear into the woods again. Mom said the creature was huge. It was long and thin with tan fur, and it absolutely was not a deer. She said it almost looked like a mountain lion, but bigger. But the thing about where we lived on the East Coast, absolutely zero mountain lions. No bears, no wolves, no predators of any type, just deer and smaller creatures. And she was absolutely sure that what she saw was not a deer.
Maybe it was a not deer.
Ooh. Have you ever
those.
heard of those?
No, what's a not deer?
It's literally not a deer. It's like, it looks like a deer, but like a deer that has been drawn by a 3-year-old kind of thing. It's a cryptid. And it's supposed to be like standing on hind legs, and it's like all wonky.
And its legs look broken, but they're not.
Yeah, the limbs look broken, and like
Is this
it could be
something from
making.
like a lore or creepypasta online, or maybe a movie? Because I've never heard of this.
Yeah, this is like a real cryptid that like apparently.
Interesting.
Where is it seen?
Oh, I forget. It was on one of our cryptid installments that we did.
I think it's like an Appalachian kind of cryptid
Mhm.
going on, but yeah, we did an episode about it, and it's like actually terrifying.
Yeah,
it's not cute.
I can work it out in my head. It is terrifying.
Yeah, a deer drawn by a toddler, essentially.
Yeah, but evil. Well, now Mom was terrified. She'd been panicked
Apparently.
before, but after seeing the creature ahead of her, she knew she wasn't alone. Darkness had overcome the park, and it was pitch black. She was stumbling around, getting increasingly more and more lost. She had no idea if the creature was even hunting her. She had no idea what was going to happen. And it was her oldest daughter's 11th birthday in just a few hours. She knew she needed to get home, but it didn't seem feasible. Freezing and scared, she continued walking. At this point, she couldn't tell if she was walking deeper into the forest and getting more lost, or if she was walking toward the parking lot. She'd come to the conclusion that she was probably going to have to sleep in the woods. I can't even imagine how creepy that would be.
Nope.
But like I said, my mom's a fucking badass. She was honestly probably more worried about messing up my birthday than she was for her own safety. That's just who she is. That's a mom.
That is a mom.
All of a sudden, she heard something off in the distance. This part of the story always gives me goosebumps.
Oh, no.
Deeper into the forest, she heard a child calling out for their mother. It was a very sing-songy, bone-chilling young voice. The voice kept saying, "Mama, Mama, Mama."
I'm out. I'm out.
I'd be like, "I'm not your mom."
That would be the end for me.
Yeah. I just lay down and just be like, and here we
Cover
go.
myself with leaves and cry.
Yeah. My mom, being the incredible mother that she is, first had the instinct to go chase after the voice. It sounded like a child that was in need, like some poor little kid had wandered off and just needed her help. However, she quickly realized this was not the case at all. She remembered the empty parking lot. She remembered how she hadn't seen anyone else on the trail. This was not a child at all. It was something that was calling out to her, trying to lure her into the woods further. My whole body just
I
went,
know.
whom.
This Flesh Pedestrians give me the chills.
Ugh.
I can't.
All she could think of was that creature that she saw. Was this the creature calling out to her? She was terrified for her life at that point. She started running. She's always had an excellent sense of direction, and by some miracle, she found herself off the trail and in the parking lot. Waiting for her, there was my dad. The fucking text had sent.
Ooh.
She had no idea how it did, but she knew she was grateful. Something had been after her in those woods. I don't like to think about what would have happened if my dad hadn't been there to pick her up. And after doing research, we are fully convinced, all of us, that she encountered a flesh pedestrian that night. I know it's typical for flesh pedestrians to do shit like this, calling out to people and mimicking human voices to lure people to them. In my opinion, she's very lucky to be alive after this. And to think, I had the audacity to actually be upset that I had to wait an extra hour to open my gifts, while my mom spent the morning searching for her keys at the park. Somehow she found them, and my birthday continued on perfectly.
The important part.
Once again, thank you for all that you both do for us. I've always been different and a little quirky, and you've given a weirdo like myself a safe place and community. Let me know if you want me to write about any of my other experiences. They're all pretty crazy. Love you both love you both indefinitely. No, infinitely. Jesus Christ. And as always, keep it weird. But not so weird that you decide to go on a run on a cold November night, lose your keys, and get stalked by a flesh pedestrian. Please, God, never that weird. And to that creature in the woods that wanted to hurt our listener's mom, whatever the hell it was, let's not meet.
The calling out to the victim or the person that's out in the woods whenever they're alone, it's like a beckoning. Sometimes it's the voice of a child or something like that. That's really common that you hear in these types of stories.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a child or like a woman in distress.
It's always somebody
Exactly.
like needing help, like preying on your natural instinct to help your
had
fellow person.
a non-supernatural story like that in the early days of the podcast. I think it's one of my early episodes. It's still online right now, but there was a guy that was out in the woods. It was the early 90s. He lived out in the woods, and he heard something in the trees behind his house, and it sounded like a child crying. And he was like, what the hell's going on? Is there a lost child, behind my house in the woods? So he searches the woods and follows the sound. And what he finds is super creepy. He didn't find a child. He found a tape recorder that was playing a recording of a child crying.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck. I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
My whole body just shut down. That is the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Did he move
and
out
the
of
fact
the
that
woods?
it's a tape makes it even creepier for some reason to me.
Because one, it's like that tape had to be made.
Yeah, exactly.
And then two, somebody had to turn it on.
Yeah, somebody was
like,
there. Obviously, it was a trap.
What was the plan? What was going to happen? Maybe they were hoping like a younger person would come, or a woman.
I don't remember exactly how it ended. I think it may have been like you heard some rustling or something, but he took off, obviously, terrified. But I would assume that it was probably a trap, and they were hoping that it was not a full-grown man, going out there in the woods.
Oh my God, that is the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's especially scary because I'm an empath and I'm just trying to help everybody at all times.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, when you hear a child... you can't just walk away from hearing a child cry.
Yeah, you can't.
No one would
can now.
Human instinct won't let you do it.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, that is...
Now that's going to be the first thing I think of if I ever hear a child cry.
I know.
In the night in the woods, which I won't because...
I was going to say, I hope I never hear that.
I remember
scary.
you said you're New England, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. I was talking with the guys that I'm doing a TV pilot. We're filming a TV pilot for Let's Not Meet. We've actually wrapped up filming. We did a fundraiser. We raised enough to do one episode. We're going to try and use that to shop it around. Hopefully we can get it picked up.
That's badass.
But
congratulations.
That's
Awesome.
We were in Ipswich. They sent me a text. Ipswich, Georgetown, Leominster. Am I saying that right?
Leominster. It doesn't look like it, but it's Leominster.
They typed it wrong. He's a loser.
It's spelled like crazy. Yeah. It's spelled like Leominster.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's spelled right. It's just pronounced Leominster.
Gotcha. Yeah. One of those things that one of my listeners would have written in angrily about.
Yeah, Massachusetts towns are wild.
And Tingsboro. But yeah, we just wrapped that up.
So you were right around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't actually. I had nothing to do with the filming. I'm just doing the music. I'm scoring it, and cool. I'm producing and stuff like that. But I wasn't there for the actual filming. That's not my forte.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, but they were saying oh yeah, I heard you guys are going. I heard that you're going on Morbid. Just let them know about the TV show. I'm like, all right.
All right.
Ipswich was my favorite of the names. I like that.
Oh yeah,
Ipswich is really beautiful.
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to come out, but it was just
vibes.
too expensive to fly right now.
It's crazy right now.
Yeah.
This part of the show is brought to you by Andew, the Korean skincare brand known for scientific, gentle, yet effective formulations. The latest from Andew is the Retinol Collagen Gua Sha Cream, a firming cream with a gua sha-shaped tip built right in. Have you guys heard of gua sha? It's that viral massage tool that moves fluid and tension out of your face. Less puffiness, a snatched jawline, honey, more definition in your face. Retinol firms and reduces fine lines, and collagen keeps your skin plump and structured. This cream has both of those things, arguably the most optimal combo for that snatched, lifted look all in one step. I am obsessed with the Gua Sha cream. First of all, it feels so cool to the touch. When you put that on your face, it's just like, this is lovely. It's like a little spa treatment that you can give yourself. I like to do mine at night after I get out of the shower. I rub the cream on my face with the little gua sha. I'm sculpting that jawline, honey. I got it on the cheekbones. And actually, I had a facial the other day, and the lady doing my facial, the professional, she said, "Do you use a gua sha at home?" And I said, "I do." And I said, "How did you know that?" And she said, "I didn't have those little bumps in my chin or different areas like that." So she could tell that I was using the gua sha. And I said, "Oh my God." I just feel like I wake up less puffy in the morning when I do it the night before. But you can do it whenever you want to. I, 10 out of 10, recommend this product. The Anua Gua Sha Cream Value Set is available at anua.com, already discounted. Use code MORBID for an extra 10% off. That's ANUA.com, code MORBID. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
But yeah, I have a story for you guys from my show. This is from an early episode. So I have guests on my show pretty often. Well, I used to. Now I'd kind of had them all on in a special episode once every season. And we just kind of do like a variety show. But I have a recurring guest named Soren Narnia. That's the pen name that he goes by. He has a podcast called Knife Point Horror. He's a fantastic writer, narrator, and podcaster. This, however, was a true story from one of our listeners. And I chose this one because I wanted to narrate this one because it was so scary, but I felt like I had to give it to him because it just fit his voice so well. So I wanted a chance to finally narrate
now's
it.
your time.
Exactly.
To shine.
I had a couple to choose from, but after hearing yours, this one sounded a bit more appropriate with the theme. It's called Camp Creep by
I'm already sold. Let's go.
Cassian. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I decided that it was time to share a creepy encounter that I had from years ago. At the time of this story, I was 13. I was in Boy Scouts, and my troop decided to have our annual summer camp in Alabama. The camp was supposed to go on for a full 6 days. We arrived Sunday at noon, and then we leave the next Saturday at noon as well. We weren't the only troop at camp, though. There were plenty of others. And even at such a young age, I found it relatively easy to go out and make friends. And so that's exactly what I did. I ended up befriending this guy, also 13, who we'll call Roger. I also had another friend from the same troop as mine. We'll call him Pete. I introduced Pete to Roger, and we were all best friends for the week, even though Pete and I had just met Roger. We hung out every moment that we could. Whether that was in class or during meals in the dining hall, we always hung out. Roger seemed to like the outdoors, so one night he invited us to go on a hike with him. He said that he had found a chapel nearby, and it seemed to be abandoned. The chapel sat on a more elevated area that allowed us to see past the trees. He said that we could walk up there and we could watch the sunset. Now, Pete and I, we were excited about going, but we also knew that since we were both young, we would need permission from our scoutmaster to go up there. And just to clarify for anybody that's not in the States, a scoutmaster is the adult who's the leader of the troop. They oversee the activities and, more importantly, the overall safety of the troop. There are also assistant scoutmasters who help the scoutmasters when needed. Our scoutmaster was one of just a few adults there. We asked him during dinner if we could go on the hike, and he said that it was fine as long as we brought along another trusted adult. We told Roger about what our scoutmaster had said. Roger told us that he had an assistant scoutmaster from his own troop that could tag along. We'll call him Manny. We agreed and told our scoutmaster about it. He signed off on it, and when we finished dinner, we immediately set off on the hike. The hike was maybe 2 miles or so away from the campsite, not too far. About halfway through, the path that we were on abruptly stopped. We looked ahead and we saw piles of leaves, branches, dirt, and twigs covering the ground. The area had become dense. Pete was hesitant about going further, as he said he had this sickening feeling. Intuition, maybe. But Manny assured us that we would all be right under his wing, and we continued on. After 5 minutes, we all started hearing some rustling in the shrubs nearby. We thought that maybe it was an animal and brushed it off. Once again, however, Pete felt this bad vibe from up ahead. He couldn't explain it. We ignored his calls, and we thought that it was just a cry for attention, maybe. Pete told us that he wanted to turn back, but Manny refused, saying that we were too close to give up now. We continued on, and soon enough, we reached the chapel. It was enormous, but it looked worn down and it had missing wooden planks laying around on the ground. We looked at the sunset and admired the view. We ended up sitting down and chatting for a bit. Manny told us some amusing stories from when he was a Boy Scout. While Manny was talking, Pete nudged me on the shoulder. He whispered in my ear saying that he felt like he was being watched. I asked from where, and he pointed towards the chapel. I told him it was probably some kind of animal and that he was being paranoid. However, unlike last time, he wouldn't let up. He stood his ground and he told us that he knew somebody was watching us. Pete and I excused ourselves as we told Manny and Roger we would be looking around the chapel. Once we reached the entrance, I told Pete to wait there as I investigated the area. He refused, saying that it would be better if we went in as a pair. We decided to walk around the chapel first. For reference, the chapel has one entrance. There were these thick glass windows on each side, but dust had clouded them up. There was one window, though, that wasn't there anymore. There was glass shards all around the outside of the window. That should have been the first red flag. If it were Mother Nature, the glass would have been on the inside of the chapel. But it was on the outside instead. I was too young, dumb, and caught up in the moment to worry about it, though. Once we circled the chapel and found nothing, I asked Pete if he wanted to go inside. He hesitantly agreed, but said that I should walk in first and that he'd follow closely behind. Big mistake. I opened the door and walked in. Even thinking about what happens next scares me to this day. As soon as I stepped foot inside, I looked in front of me, then up, then to my right, and then to my left. When I looked to my left, I damn near screamed. I jolted back as I saw a man standing in the corner. He was peeking through the window at us. He was crouching and he had this grin on his face like he had seen me do something embarrassing. It was a menacing smirk. In one hand, he had an empty soda can. In the other, what looked to be a butcher's knife.
No.
He stood straight up and took one step towards us. As soon as he did this, I took off and Pete followed closely behind. The man chased after us. Manny and Roger both saw us running in their direction as well as the butcher knife-wielding man. They grabbed their bags and began to run as well. We took off in the direction which we came. After what felt like an eternity, Pete ran out of breath and couldn't continue on. We looked back and we didn't see that crazed man anymore, so we hid behind some shrubs in case he did come by. Pete drank some water as Manny asked me what the hell just happened. I told him everything. I remember he said that he felt like throwing up. He questioned why anyone would derive pleasure from scaring these young innocent teens like that. As Manny continued talking with me while Pete was just laying on the floor, Roger told us that he heard footsteps. We all shut up as Manny and I peeked through the opening in the shrubs. He saw the same man heading down the unkempt path we were just on. I was scared that he would find us and hoped that he would just stop and turn around, but he continued down the path in the direction of the campsite now. Feeling trapped, we didn't want to go back to the chapel, and we definitely didn't want to go back to the campsite. We didn't know what to do. We knew that this man was somewhere along the side of the path. That's when Manny remembered that he had his phone with him. Since he was an assistant scoutmaster, he was allowed to keep his devices with him during camp. We scouts were not. He frantically dialed his troop's scoutmaster and explained the situation. The scoutmaster told the camp counselors, and they dialed 911. After about 1 hour, he heard footsteps again. This time, from a few officers. We approached them, and Pete damn near passed out in the officer's arms. We were taken back to the camp, and we were protected with these officers. All the troops were informed of what happened. The camp counselors decided to call the rest of camp off and sent the troops home. After a week of returning home, I received a message from my scoutmaster informing us that the police had caught the creep. He had been doing this with children all over that region of Alabama.
What?
There were reports and sightings, and I was happy that he was caught, but I was more disturbed by another detail. He told us that the man had murdered a person just a few days before our encounter with him. He hid the body a couple of 100 feet behind the chapel and used the chapel as a house. I was thoroughly disgusted, and I sincerely hope that the family of this victim has found closure. But as for Manny and Roger and I, unfortunately, we all lost contact. Pete and I, on the other hand, are still buddies to this day. But as for the butcher-wielding creep who tried to do who knows what to my friends just a few years ago, let's not meet.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
That
Opening the church door and seeing like a crazed man smiling in the corner with a butcher knife.
and a soda can.
Pretty
For some
fucking scary.
reason, that stressed me out. It was like
Yeah.
an empty
too.
soda can and
empty
a butcher's
soda can.
knife.
Yeah, there's always
Like,
that's the thing about these
what?
true stories. There's always these details that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would you include that? But that's just how weird real life is sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's true.
God.
My
And-
God, he had murdered somebody days earlier.
And that he just did this.
Mhm.
Like, this
Like,
is just what he
his
did.
thing.
Yeah.
And he was following them down that path. It's like, what was the plan here?
To kill
some
all of
kids,
them.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that had like shivers up my whole body. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I did too, just reading it because it's so quiet in here. I'm just like,
know.
oh man, this is still a scary story.
You're
For
like, I gotta
real.
go. This is terrible. Wow. Yeah. Let's not meet that guy.
Let's
Yeah,
not
definitely.
meet
Let's
that guy
not.
ever.
I'm telling you, any summer camp story.
It adds an element.
The camp
does.
stories are the scariest. I'm
They are.
terrified of camping now. I'm terrified of
Me
everything
too.
now after doing this podcast for so
Oh,
many
yeah.
years.
Same, yeah. I don't do anything anymore.
Oh, yeah. I'm just here.
And I'm scaring my friends constantly.
But yeah, summer camp, just the vibe. And then you add a chapel on a hill in the woods.
Hey,
It's
I
like,
went to church camp every single year growing up.
oh my,
That's
so
even
you
creepier.
combined.
I would hear people speaking in tongues at night in the church. Very creepy.
Are you serious?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
very creepy.
That's a horror movie. That's Midnight Mass.
Did that inspire you to start this podcast?
I know.
I don't know how gross you guys get on the podcast, but I have a pretty nasty story about summer camp.
Oh, we get gross.
We get
Let's
pretty
go.
gross, yeah.
Give it
Yeah,
to
one
us.
year at church camp. So here's the thing, and this is probably appropriate for your show. I have always been able to have out of body experiences and astral project ever since I was a little kid.
Ooh.
And it wasn't like a blessing or anything, like anything cool. I was terrified when it would happen.
Of course.
Because I would be laying in bed and I would look at the ceiling in like the corner of the room across on the opposite side of the room, and it would look closer to me than it should. Like I was zoomed in and I didn't realize what was going on, but then I would go back to my body and then I would go back to that corner on the opposite side of the room. I would be
Oh,
bouncing
wow.
back and forth like I was trying to get out of my body. And there were times when I could turn around and see my body in bed.
Oh my God.
And I
that
would
must
wake
have
up from
been
this.
Wild.
And I would tell my mom and my dad, and they would, of course, it's just a dream. It's just a dream.
Yup.
Eventually, it stopped happening. And then, as with the advent of the internet and learning about astral projection and out of body experiences, like, oh, wow, this is exactly what I was experiencing. The vibrations, everything to a T. But it stopped like around the age of 7 or 8. And I remember one year at camp, maybe I was 11 or 12. I was sleeping in the cabin and it happened to me. I had an out of body experience. And when I projected outside of my body, I saw some kind of dark figure in my cabin, like a shadow person. I didn't know what it was at the time, but now, again, with the advent of the internet, learned about shadow people. And it was really terrifying. I was able to get back into my body, but when I woke up, I guess I'd shit my pants. And this being, a bunch of 12-year-old boys, I would never hear the end of it if they found out that I shit in
You're
my
like,
underwear.
listen, I was astral projecting.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, okay, dude. I'm going to go speak in tongues, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, but I don't believe that.
For real, that's
So-
a little too far-fetched.
So I took my underwear off. I ran outside, bottoms naked, and I threw my underwear into the woods. Went to the bathroom, cleaned up, got back in the cabin. Luckily, nobody woke up. And the next morning, I woke up to a bunch of people crowded around these shit-filled underwear in the woods,
You're like, who would do that?
Me praying it wasn't a pair that had like my name or initials on them.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
And I remember just like crowding around them with everybody else being like, ha ha ha, that's so gross. How embarrassing. What a loser. They shit their pants at camp.
Who would do that?
Who would do that? That's my only scary camping story ever.
That's a terrifying camping story.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of camping, and now I'm not even more.
Yeah.
It's
definitely
traumatizing
not.
going to camp. I hate it. I hated it so much.
I never went to summer camp. I went to theater camp.
That checks.
Which definitely checks.
I went to like the Y camp, but it was just day camp, and I just caused trouble. So
yeah. So I missed out on that kind of experience, of awesome experience.
We all had very different camp experiences.
Truly. Oh man. Well, segueing out of that.
There's a story about how I shit myself.
Well, you know what? This is a really scary story, so maybe it'll make everybody else shit their pants.
There you go.
There we
You
go.
won't feel alone.
Yeah, we can all feel it together.
We can all shit our pants.
So this tale is called When Your House is Haunted by Annabelle's Cousin, You Yeet.
You certainly eat.
Which I agree. You do. You yeet. We can call this listener Jay. And it says, my story begins 5 years ago. We had just bought and moved into our first home. Nice 2,000 square foot slab with beautiful dark wood floors, high ceilings, lots of huge windows, and a big yard. It was vacant for a while. The previous owners had lived in it less than a year and moved out of state. We assumed it had been sitting so long due to the horrible bright striped walls in the living room. Seriously, why do people leave their walls painted like Chuck E. Cheese when they're trying to sell?
Truth.
Confusing. But compared to the long list of houses with no luck we had previously viewed, some cosmetic changes seemed like a breeze. We fell in love and put in a lowball offer since it had been on the market for months, expecting to go back and forth, but surprisingly, the owners accepted right away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Uh-oh, red flag. After moving in, we had multiple events take place that, in hindsight, were more significant than we thought they were at the time. At night, we would occasionally hear footsteps coming from the attic.
Oh, just
pretty
that.
significant. I
No
would
big
say.
deal.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Looking back, pretty significant.
Yeah, now that I think about
Yeah. So they would hear footsteps coming from the attic, not like little noises from a raccoon or squirrel. They were loud, creaking floorboard from someone pacing the floor. Oof, significant. When we would hear it, my husband would always go in the garage and check to see if the ladder was pulled down, and it never was. That is as far as the exploring we would do. So we would just lock the door and turn the office up louder so we could fall asleep. I feel this. We would also have lights that would be on when we got home that we had sworn we had turned off. We would think we heard a knock at our front door, only to answer to no one there. It's just crazy how at the time I was so great at blowing off all the weirdness and finding plausible explanations for all of it. Or maybe the fact that I was a mom to a new baby and was too tired to deal with anything else was how we lasted so long.
Definitely.
That's probably part of it. Our floor plan was long and narrow. We had our room next to the garage on one side of the house, and on the other side of the house, past the living room, kitchen, dining room, was a long hallway with a playroom, both kids' bedrooms, and a freaking bathroom at the end of the hallway, where when you walked down the hallway at night, you'd barely see your reflection in the bathroom mirror from the light of the moon through the window behind the hall.
No, thank you.
Not a fan. The whole house had minimal lighting in the ceilings, which was weird. Besides the bedrooms, the rest of the house was lit by lamps or recessed, more dim lighting, which always made it feel extra dark, paired with the dark floors. I can't explain why, but I would always feel that feeling of being watched at night. We had big windows. The front and back doors had windows on the side uncovered. When the baby would wake up for nighttime feedings, walking to her room across the house at night would give you the heebies, especially getting a tired, quick glance at your reflection in a window or mirror. I would have jumped through the roof seeing my reflection at that time at night.
Oh, yeah. I've done that before.
And that tired during like nighttime feedings. In the backyard, there's a big shed. My husband isn't what you call a handyman, so we didn't utilize it much, mostly for outdoor kid toy storage. During the parallelogram shutdown,
I haven't heard that one yet.
I literally got so bored, I decided to clean the shed. Like, I was so bored.
It do be like that.
I remembered there was some stuff left by previous owners, some tools and odd random things like bags of mulch and stuff. I never had gone in the shed myself because spiders. I feel that. Anyways, I bravely removed the kids' toys, and on the top of a shelf, and on the top shelf of the built-in shelves, it was then that I found an old metal box with slides on them of photo film.
Uh-oh.
Burn that. Just burn it.
Just put that back.
Don't even look at it. When you'd hold it up in the light, you could see the pictures. I think they go in an old school projector. They were of an elderly couple. And the cutest, most pure, wholesome, and they were the cutest, most pure, wholesome thing.
No, they weren't.
Pictures of the lady doing dishes, smiling, pictures of the couple sitting in the living room by a Christmas tree, them surrounded by small kids. After posting it on my Insta story.
Check this out.
I love it. After posting it on my Insta story and some local friends saw it, they filled me in. Turns out that couple was the second last owners of our home. They spent their days working on the garden that we had since destroyed with my lack of a green thumb, had tons of grandkids, and oh yeah, they died within 24 hours of each other, crying, screaming, sobbing at how sad and pure love is.
Oh.
They weren't sick, so I assume they died in the home, in our home. That's where the story takes a turn. My daughter was 3 at the time. 3 years of strange noises and feelings, but nothing we could definitely say were reasons to worry. We still had a baby monitor in her room because the kids' rooms were on the other side of the house, and it just gave us peace of mind. One night, we awoke from our sleep to a blood-curdling scream. The kind of scream you hop out of bed before you even realize what you're hearing. I sprint across the house, whip open the door to find her sitting up in her bed, perfectly calm. She was staring and pointing her finger to the ceiling corner of her room, saying calmly and clearly, "Mom." I said, "Yes, baby, I'm here. What is wrong?" She looked at me and then looked back at the ceiling corner and shook her head, pointing and repeating, "No, Mom." There was fucking nothing there. She was pointing to nothing. Nothing on the walls, nothing on the ceiling, literally nothing. Now, this is where I start thinking of every horror movie I've ever seen, where the dumb bitches go wrong and have you yelling at the screen, "Don't go in there. Why did you do that?"
Me.
She seemed calm. I, on the other hand, was shitting a dick. But I tucked her back in. Every parent has been in that exact same situation where you're like, okay, this is fine. And you're shitting your pants, being like, there is a ghost or a demon in this room, and I have to pretend there isn't.
The first time your kid slept over my house, I was like, I swear to God.
Don't you dare tell me you see something.
You will not be asked back.
So they were shitting a dick, but I tucked her back in and walked out. Judge if you must, but I literally had no clue what to do in that situation. My natural reaction was to find a reasonable explanation. She's 3, sleeps with a nightlight. Surely she saw a shadow or something. 2 more nights pass uneventful. Then again, we wake up to my daughter on the monitor screaming, "Get out, get out, get out."
Oh my God.
This got my husband out of bed so fast. He grabbed his gun and ran to her room. After finding no one and nothing in her room, he cleared the whole house. Pays to live with a veteran whose reaction is fight. Again, nothing in our house. We tried asking her what she was telling to get out, and she just kept pointing to her closet.
Oh, no, no, no.
My husband checked every nook and cranny in her closet. Nothing. It wasn't until she was sitting on my lap after dinner in the living room when she kept hiding her face in my shirt. I asked her what was wrong, and she slowly lifted her head, closed her one eye, and precisely pointed to the wall next to us, where there was nothing, and said, "Mommy, the bad guy." I'm thinking in my head, oh, hell no. After she refused to go in our playroom, the 4th bedroom, also the largest room right off the living room, because she said that's where the bad guy lived.
Ooh.
I asked what he looked like, and she just said he's dark. It reminded me on the show The Dead Files when they refer to shadow men, and the medium always recommends the family leave because it's not safe. Those, she believes, are evil spirits or some form of daemon. At night, my daughter would always want my husband to check her closet and close the door all the way because of the bad guy. And even at my mom's house one night, she mentioned the bad guy that lives in my house. She had brought it up so certainly and on numerous occasions, with her story never changing. I had a hard time knowing what to do. I have to thank the morbid weirdos on the Facebook page. I knew that was a place I could ask for advice, and so many helpful people gave me tips. I don't know a lot about the paranormal, never having an experience with it myself. I didn't quite feel comfortable saging or doing any sort of ritual that could bite myself in the ass if done incorrectly.
I know
That's
there's
smart.
so many steps to everything like that.
Yeah. With it affecting my daughter, I didn't want to risk making it worse. The world is insane and so complex. It would be foolish to think, as teeny tiny as we are in the universe, that we are supposed to understand everything. But I could feel it feeding off of my daughter and my fear. One of the responses on the Facebook group post said to open the doors and windows and say out loud, "Only positive energy is welcomed in this house. Evil and negative energy, please leave."
Yep.
So I did that. Scared shitless, but I did that. We also prayed out loud in my daughter's room before bed. God, you are stronger and greater than anything else. Please wrap your arms around her and provide protection and peace. It provided me comfort. The next few days, after doing some deep diving at this point, I discovered the family who we bought the house from, the husband was a pastor, and they abruptly moved out after not even living there a full year. And after learning of the elderly couple both passing within 24 hours of each other, more than likely in the home, and what was happening with my daughter, that was enough for me to nope out of our house. That's a lot of energy. Too bad it wasn't some sweet grand ghost smelling our house with ghostly cookies and soup.
I want a grand ghost.
Just baking cookies.
How do I sign up for that?
I know. I'll take that.
Is there a mailing list?
Seriously. Can you get that on Amazon? We listed our house for sale that week. Before staging and photos were taken, I got rid of tons of toys. Honestly, the best part of moving. Decluttering. I got rid of all the dolls. After reading online that dolls are frequently items that evil spirits can attach to. Nervously cleaning out the playroom, knowing my daughter's caution to still enter the room, on the top shelf of the closet, I find something I forgot was there. Fucking creepy-ass handmade Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, sitting on the shelf, staring right at my face with their stupid smiles. Not only that, they were made from a recent widow, a friend of my grandma's. She started making dolls after her husband passed away. Cool. Well, get this shit. Did you know the horror movie Annabelle is based off a true story of a haunted doll? And guess what the fuck kind of doll it was? A Raggedy Ann doll. There's an episode on, I can never say the name of this podcast.
I can't either.
Necronomicon?
Oh, yeah, I think you did it right. Necronomipod.
Right?
Yeah, Necronomipod.
Because I'm trying to say the actual word.
Yeah.
That coincidentally came out during that week. As soon as they said what kind of doll it was, I could feel the blood leave my face.
That's a sign, girlfriend.
After throwing those the fuck away and any other doll my daughter had, I felt good. I'd walked through telling all the bad spirits to leave. I felt lighter sitting on the couch alone. Like, try me now, motherfuckers. Then I heard it. A doll laughing. Then, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Ugh.
One of my daughter's fucking dolls where you squeeze the stomach and it makes different noises goes off as I'm in the living room. Nobody else is home. It's like whatever was in that house was mocking me feeling at peace. Like I purposely got rid of all the dolls that it made sure to let me know it was still there and my work was for nothing. I could faintly hear the noises and could tell it was coming from my daughter's room. And sure enough, on the floor in her closet, there it was, the doll, laying there.
Oh.
And we noped the fuck out of there. No orbs were in the photos on Zillow. I made sure to check for them. But since moving, my daughter has never had any other sightings or mention of anything creepy, making me think whatever presence was there stayed with the house. Sorry, new owners. I've learned a lot through this experience, and feeling energy is a very real thing. If a room or house feels off, listen to your instincts. Our last house felt eerie, but we were blinded by how much nicer it was than the alternatives. I want to say thank you to all those who years ago didn't judge me and gave me such a great advice and comfort in the Morbid Facebook group.
Aw.
The community is so great. I also want to thank Alaina for sharing her personal stories of her kids seeing ghosts and handling it calmly, telling them to leave. I felt better hearing others experience similar things. Yay for our new house. It feels literally so much lighter than our last house. It's insane the difference. Keep it weird, but not so weird that you live in a house haunted by Annabelle's cousin, because fuck that. So, unknown Damon, who is haunting this small child, let's not meet.
Let's never meet.
That makes me wonder if Pickles here is
Oh my
somehow
God.
a cousin of Annabelle as well.
Can I take a picture of the screen right now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to take
Pickles is absolutely in the genealogy of that fam.
Pickles has her own little swing. So I got Pickles.
I'm obsessed.
Excuse me.
Where did Pickles come from?
So on my other podcast, Odd Trails, we tell stories like this all the time. That was a great one. We had a story about this guy that went to live with his new girlfriend. And when he moved in with her, she lived in this double wide trailer that she had inherited from her family. I think it was her mom or her grandma. And all throughout the house on shelves everywhere were these dolls, just these porcelain dolls. And he just got a really bad vibe in the house. Mm-hmm. And at night, he would see shadow people down the halls, lots of creepy things happening, your typical hauntings. But eventually the dolls started falling off the shelves one by one. They shouldn't be falling off the shelves by the way they were placed. Like someone would have to push them off. So it got so bad to the point to I think they like nailed one of because the doll's bodies are made of cloth and then they had the porcelain heads. They nailed the doll to the shelf, if I'm remembering correctly.
That's terrifying.
It got ripped off of the shelf.
Stop.
Ripped off of the shelf and thrown across the room. Yeah.
I would move out that night.
I don't remember how it ended. I never remember the endings. But I'm pretty sure he's not with her anymore.
It's the middle that sticks with you.
Oh. They may have worked it out. I don't know. But anyway, after that and after that and a couple of other doll stories, I decided I needed to get my own haunted doll. And there's a huge haunted doll market on eBay.
There is.
And I don't remember if it was eBay or Macari, one of those other sites. But yeah, I found Pickles, and she's a positive spirit. She's very active. They say that they could hear her, laughing and playing in the halls. I obviously wasn't expecting anything when I bought her, but my wife hates her. My dogs hate her. And we have all kinds of other toys and dolls and other things in the house. But for some reason, they are terrified of this one specifically.
Just Pickles.
Yeah, just Pickles. And so I have to keep Pickles in my closet here in the office. But every once in a while, I'll hear rustling in my closet. I swear to God. I'll hear things moving around in my closet. And everything's organized. There's nothing would fall or anything. But yeah, I think Pickles is just kind of like rustling through all my stuff in there. Just kind of wanting to get
Pickles
out.
Pickles is just curious.
Pickles is just sliving.
Pickles is like, why am I in a closet?
Yeah.
Let's hang.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I like her. I actually used to be scared of clowns. But after getting Pickles, like it kind of cured my fear of clowns. I don't know why. I had a phobia, but yeah, I have
so Pickles is a positive.
Oh yeah, I have a nice connection
Pickles is earning
with
your
Pickles.
trust.
Yeah. This is a good haunted doll.
Yeah.
Pickles
will get there with your wife and your dog. I have faith. Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi Checking and Savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi Checking and Savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
I don't know if you guys have more stories, but since you guys kind of delved into the supernatural, I have a short one here from Odd Trails that I'd like to share if you guys are down.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I feel like we should end on one of your stories.
Yeah, let's do this. So this is my other podcast, Odd Trails. Like I said, we do paranormal stories from listeners, just like y'all. This one is from a listener named Sandra. It's called Creepy Pictures. I don't know exactly when the pictures came to be at our house, but it was as far back as I can remember. They hung in our living room, one on either side of the wall as you entered the kitchen. The pictures were of two Victorian-era ladies, both with fancy hats and white gloves on, just the upper parts of their body. On the left was the redhead. She reminded me a lot of Lucille Ball, that old-time comedian. On the right was a brunette. In both pictures, the women stared straight ahead, gentle smiles on their faces, but their eyes followed you wherever you went in the room. Like I said, I don't remember when they came to be at our house, but my earliest recollection of them was when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And though they seemed harmless enough to most people, the red-headed lady scared me. I'd dreamed that she would wait at the top of the stairs for me, just standing there with a smile on her face. But in my dreams, that smile was evil and menacing. At some point, the dreams changed. Instead of her waiting at the top of the stairs, the red-headed lady would now enter my bedroom after I had gone to bed. My brother, who was younger than me, we both shared a room, and we shared it for the longest time. My bed was on the right, where you entered the room. It was up against the wall. His bed was along the other wall, in the corner. Now, in my dream, I'd crawl into bed and face the wall. Then, I'd hear the bedroom door open. It was always closed once we went to bed, but someone would open it. I would turn to see who it was, and it was the red-headed lady from the picture. She'd walk in and stand beside my bed, looking down at me. She had that same evil smile on her face. In my dream, I'd try to scream, but nothing would come out. I would wake up from this nightmare with my heart pounding. I'd cover my head with my blanket and try to fall asleep. I had this same dream almost every night. When I was older, maybe 10 or 11, my parents divorced, so we moved. The new house my mom rented was laid out similar to our old house, but she didn't put those pictures back in the living room. I didn't know where they were, but I didn't care. I was just happy that I didn't have to see them anymore. But one day after I went up the stairs to my bedroom, I saw it. My mom's bedroom was off to the left once you got to the top of the stairs. She almost always kept her bedroom door closed, but this day it was partially open, and there on the wall above her bed was a picture of the red-headed lady, her eyes seemingly looking at me out in the hall. The other picture was there too, but from my vantage point, the redhead was the only one that I saw. The dreams continued for some time, though. I don't remember exactly when they stopped. My mom eventually was able to buy a house, so we moved. I was in high school by then. I didn't see the pictures anywhere in the new house, but by this time I had forgotten about those dreams for a while. I didn't have any. A couple of years later, my mom, brother, and I took a trip to Hollywood, California. We did all of those touristy things, and we were having a blast. At the time, there was a huge farmer's market near where we were staying, so we decided to check it out. They had everything that you could imagine there. At one of the tables that we were checking out, there were these knickknacks, ashtrays, small framed pictures, things like that. And there, among those framed pictures, was that red-headed lady and the brunette. It caught me off guard. Some of those old fears came back, and I could feel my heart racing. But it was okay. They stayed there in my dreams, thankfully, and did not return. Many years later, my brother and I were at my mom's, helping her clean out the basement. We had since moved out, and now we have our own families. As we worked, we would find some things from our childhood that would make us reminisce. And up to that point, I had never told anyone about the nightmares that I had of the red-headed lady. But Since we were talking about things from our childhood, I casually mentioned those 2 pictures and how once we moved, that last time, I never saw them again. My brother said that when the movers were unloading stuff to the new house, they dropped one of the pictures and broke it. My mom was going to keep just the one, but decided just to get rid of it since she wouldn't have the full pair. It was then that I told my brother about my dreams of the red-headed lady. He told me he had the same exact dreams, but of the brunette. He also had not told anyone about them. The hair stood up on the back of my neck from hearing that. That was a long time ago. Our mom died a couple of years ago. I'm 62 now, but even retelling this story here makes me a bit uneasy. So to the creepy pictures of the Victorian ladies that haunted both my brother and I don't ever want to see you again.
What?
The redhead was not me. Just so you know.
Spoiler alert.
Just putting it out there.
How crazy is that?
We see a recurring theme of dream synchronizations in our stories. A lot of people will either dream of somebody that's about to die or has died, or dreams will sync up and something bad will happen. Just impossible things, like her brother dreaming of the brunette, never saying a thing, her dreaming of the redhead, same exact dream. It's wild that those things can happen.
That is. I've had creepy dreams before, and then like they've come true, but very, very rarely.
Dreams are weird, man.
Dreams are weird. I think it's like in our subconscious, we can like tap into something that we're just not aware of when we're awake.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't understand it.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever have lucid dreams?
Yes.
Yes. All the time.
Me too.
I lucid dream a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I can like go in between my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen this thing that people are doing on TikTok, and I'm like, I feel like this is like dangerous, guys. I don't know. Where they are telling you if you are lucid dreaming that you should ask somebody in the dream what the date and time is.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
I've never done that.
So your brain makes up these dream characters, and I highly recommend reading both Robert Monroe's books on out-of-body experiences and astral projection called Journeys Out of Body. He has 3 of them. And because out-of-body experiences are so closely related to dreams, as far as lucid dreams go, they're very similar. But also just a book called Lucid Dreaming. I forget, I think it's Robert Wagner is the author. I've read it like 3 or 4 times, and it's so interesting. Through his studies and his writing and him looking into dreams and talking to all these people that have had lucid dreams, we create these, he's found that we create these dream characters with our own mind, but some of them aren't just dumb dream characters. You know what I mean? They aren't just things that we've made up.
Mm-hmm.
He has stories of people that have lucid dreams where they've spoken to people that know things that the person could never have known. And they are like kind of like spiritual guides. And every lucid dream, they'll go and they'll talk to those lucid dream guides, and they'll take them to different, dimensions and realms and explain things about life to them. And it's not just your dumb character that's going to tell you like the date and the time, you know
that
what I mean?
It's Wednesday at 3:30.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny because a lot of times the dream characters will try to convince you that you are not dreaming. They'll try to say, "Oh no, you're not dreaming. This isn't a dream." Like for some reason they like they'll be like robots, and then you'll walk to talk to them. They'll talk to you like normal, and as soon as you bring up, "Oh my God, am I dreaming?" They'll be like, "No, you're not dreaming." It's like they don't want you to know that you're dreaming. It's really creepy.
That's so wild. Because maybe you're not dreaming. Maybe it's like, again, something we don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think of all the research we have about dreams, I don't think we understand a single thing about them.
No way.
No, because there's just too many things that you can't explain.
Yeah.
It's too strange.
I had an
uncle.
Then
like sleep paralysis, you add that into it. It's like, we don't understand any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle that would dream about snakes whenever somebody would pass away close to him.
Ooh,
he would dream about snakes, and he would find out the next day they were dead.
Oh, that must be so hard too.
Yeah.
Like that's like with great power comes great responsibility, because it's like every time you have that dream, you're like, oh no.
He's a piece
so
of
you're
shit.
like, fuck that. He can dream about snakes all day.
Yeah, that's why. That's your punishment, uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that must just be wild to know.
Yeah.
Like you wake up and you're like, oh, who's it going to be?
My God, that's wild.
Eek.
Now I want to like go dream.
I know. I want a lucid dream now.
Let's go dream,
Cool
guys.
thing about lucid dreaming is once you finally start like spending your time reading about it or just thinking about it, looking into it, just that is enough to make you lucid dream. Just because you're so focused on it, your subconscious is thinking about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain's like, let's go.
Yeah, what I like to do is just put on the audiobook of lucid dreaming, and I'll just have it on while I'm driving and cleaning the house. And then every time I do that night, I'll probably have a lucid dream, if not a very vivid dream. That's
really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll all lucid dream tonight.
It's funny that we're talking about dreams.
I think we will.
Right now, my fiance and I have been like having crazy dreams lately. It was like, it kind of ended for me like within the past couple of nights. But like 2 weeks ago, we kept waking up and being like, that was the weirdest dream, but I don't remember anything from it.
You just know it was weird.
But like I woke up and like he woke up and was like, oh, like there's something about that was so weird, but we couldn't remember it.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually had my first lucid dream last night in a long time. It's funny that we're talking about it now. But
this was happening.
I just remember looking at somebody through like a peephole or through like this window in my door, and just their face, I was just like, you shouldn't be here. This is a dream.
Like, wait a second.
And I made them disappear. I closed it, and I went and sat on the couch with my wife, and I was just like, all right, well, I have to record today, so I should probably get up. And I just woke myself up immediately. And that was like I'm so mad that I didn't stay in the dream longer, because it was like 6 a.m. and I didn't need to be up. I always panic when I'm in a lucid dream that I need to wake up. Like, oh, no, I got to wake up. And then I wake up immediately, and I never enjoy it.
Because it's weird. Yeah. It's like unfamiliar territory, because you're like, once you realize you're dreaming, it's like, oh, okay, I got to get out of here. Like, I don't know what's happening. Because I'll lucid dream, and it's usually when something scary is happening in a dream that all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, this is a dream. And then I'm like, like this. But I for some reason, my brain in a lucid dream doesn't realize that I can control it too much.
It's hard to, yeah. Yeah, you have to kind of learn how to do it.
I more get frustrated in the dream that I know I'm dreaming, but I can't stop this thing that's about to happen.
I've had that feeling.
So I'll almost be like annoyed. Like it'll be like somebody coming after me with like a knife or something. And I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get stabbed. And like, that sucks.
Bummer.
Like, I'm like, yeah, like literally.
Like, I don't feel
like oh, I wish I could just wake up. I don't want to deal with this right now.
Yeah. No, I've had that before too. I feel like I was able to control my dreams a lot more when I was younger. Get out of situations like that.
That makes sense.
I think kids are much more sensitive to those types of things. And the kids are sensitive to everything in the spiritual or astral realm.
Because they're not scared of it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one recent one that I had probably in the last year or so. I was in a kitchen, and I realized I was dreaming, and I saw that there was a figure on the other side of the room in the living room. I could see the living room from the kitchen. It was like an apartment. I'd never lived there or been in there. And it was a figure that was wearing all dark and facing away from me, but they were facing out a sliding glass door. But I had this weird sense that it was my mom. So I kind of floated around over there. I don't know why. I didn't need to walk. I was floating. Once I got there, I still felt that it was my mom. But when she turned and looked at me, she had like an old fashioned plague mask on.
Oh,
and so it was like this dark hooded figure with a plague mask on.
Badass.
And it is kind of badass, but it's terrifying because it's like, that's my mom. I need it. And I woke up immediately.
Oh my God.
That was like an omen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What's creepy is, and this happened, I'm sorry, I have so many stories about dreaming.
No, don't be sorry.
These are fascinating. So
one happened when I was younger, when I was like 17. I was having shadow people experiences a lot, maybe 18. And my mom told me one morning, she's like, I had this dream that there was this dark, shadowy figure following you around everywhere you went, no matter what you did.
God.
And it scared the shit out of me because I had been experiencing shadow people and sleep paralysis. And I told my friend about it. And he's like, she's just trying to scare you. I was like, why would my mom do that?
Yeah, why? That would be so mean.
Yeah.
You're like, also, I'm experiencing this.
Yeah. That would be cruel and unusual. Why would she do that?
I don't know if it has to do with growing up Pentecostal and being exposed to so many weird spiritual things.
Ooh, that's a good point.
That made me so sensitive and have all of these crazy experiences. But and that's why that's why I started doing Odd Trails, because I have so many stories like this. And I always wanted to hear more from people about their experiences that are similar. So I wanted to tell all these stories. And the wildest one I just want to share with you guys real quick was when I was about 22. I had moved in with my parents when I lost my apartment, and I stayed with them for about 9 months. One night I was coming home from the bar. This is a tiny little town in Northern California. I see this bright light in the sky, and it starts coming closer and closer. So I think it's like a helicopter with a spotlight on. It's just this bright light. But when I roll down my window, I don't hear anything. There's no sound of a helicopter.
Ooh.
So I pull over on the side of this 2-lane highway, and somebody pulls over behind me. We both get out of the car, and there's this big bright light. I want to say maybe, I can't remember exactly, but it was like within 100 feet, less than 100 feet away in the sky. The guy gets out. He's an Indian guy who doesn't speak English, so we can't really talk. And we're just kind of like pointing up to this thing.
But you're both like, we are sharing this, correct?
Exactly. And I didn't have a smartphone at the time. I was 22. I just had like a flip phone, not even a camera on it, I don't think. And what happened was it just shot back up into the air, not fast, slowly. It slowly just went back up into the air and disappeared, like completely silent. So we're bewildered. We're just standing there, like trying to talk through broken English about what happened. But that was that. And we just went home. So that night, I had a shadow person experience and I had sleep paralysis. The next morning, I woke up to go to work. I go outside, I get in my car, and I look up at my window, and there's a dark handprint right next to my window.
Stop.
But it was like the fingers were facing the window as if somebody were holding on to the wall and peering into my window. The thing is, there's no balcony there. There's no ledge. There's nothing that anybody could be standing on there. They would have had to have had a ladder to do this. And I had not seen this before. It was in clear view of pulling out of the driveway in front of my house. Everyone would see it. My dad would see it. Anybody would see it. So I immediately ran inside and went upstairs, and I reached out and tried to wipe away the handprint to see if it was like dirt or paint or something. And when I looked at my finger, it was like ash. It just flaked away. It just flaked away like ash, and I could just rub the thing off. I showed it to my dad, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird." That's all he had to say about it.
That's a weird handprint right there.
This
what
weird
a dad reaction
demon
from
ash
anywhere.
handprint.
That's weird.
Yeah. Nothing happened after that.
God.
But it was all just this weird coincidence of all these things happening in one night.
And it's like, was it connected?
I have no explanation whatsoever.
That's got to be connected somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. And it's when somebody else is like in it with you for part of it too. And you're like, we're seeing this together, right? Like that's what was so weird. And it sucked
that like he didn't speak English, because I would love to just talk to this guy now. Like,
to just be like, what did we see?
Like,
Hey guy.
That happened to something like that happened to my husband on the highway once coming home from work, and he was working late.
This story is fucking terrifying.
Yeah. He said it was like literally this giant light shot halfway across the sky and stopped. And he said it lit the night up.
Whoa.
like day. And he's like, I slammed on my brakes, and he was like, there was only a few cars in front of me. We were on the highway. And he's like, and everyone in front of me jammed on their brakes. So everyone saw it at once. And he was like, all these cars started pulling over, because then it just shot across the sky. Like it stopped in the middle and then shot all the way across.
Right.
And he's like, we all pulled out. We all got out. Everyone's like, we saw that, right? Like everyone saw that. No one had it on camera because nobody was ready for it to happen.
Yeah.
And I think it was like right in the beginning of smart like phones anyway. But he was like, we all just stood there and we're like, okay, like, I don't know. What do we do? They all just got back in their cars and went home. And he was like, I still to this day just want to like
chat with those people.
I just want to know what
the same exact thing. Yeah. The only difference about mine was it was a bright light, but it didn't light anything up. It was so weird. It didn't emit light onto anything. It didn't illuminate anything, but it was a light. It was like impossible. I have no idea what kind of technology that was or what I saw. It's funny because a few nights after that, I was driving home from work and I saw these purple lights doing different like aerial tricks in the air, like stuff that I would never imagine a plane doing, these bright purple lights. So I was like, I got to check this out. So I pulled off the highway to this on-ramp or the off-ramp and got a little closer, drove down this dirt road. And these guys flying these drones around that had bright purple lights.
I knew it.
You're like, what is happening?
I'm being told something, signs.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I always just assumed that all these weird things have happened, like I said, just because I grew up in such a like spiritually charged home because
that makes sense.
It being Pentecostal. A lot of my friends and relatives that grew up the same way, I mean, we're no longer Pentecostal anymore, but we still talk about the crazy shit that we experienced. I remember one kid, his grandma had just passed away. He also went to the church that we went to. And the way I heard this story is I overheard his mom telling my mom and my aunt about it. I wasn't supposed to hear this story, apparently.
That's always the best kind of story.
Yeah, I was a little kid, and apparently he had woken up in the middle of the night and he saw a completely black figure in the corner of his room with a red face, like a red painted face.
Oh.
And he was talking to it. And it was his grandma that just passed away. His grandma was this dark figure with a red face. So the next morning, she asked her son about what he saw or what he was talking to that night. And the kid said, I saw this dark figure in the corner of my room. It had a red face. It was my grandma, blah, blah, blah. And multiple accounts of things like that happening to kids specifically within the church, within the religion growing up. That just completely unexplainable. Weird shit, man.
And why did she show up like that?
Did you think it was really her?
I don't know. Maybe it could be like some kind of trickster demon or spirit.
Yeah.
But
because it's like, Grandma, why'd you do that?
Yeah,
Grandma's going off in the afterlife.
Exactly. She just woke up and he was talking to the corner of the room, and she was like, all right, I'm going to leave this alone. And she talks to him the next day and he tells her the story about the demon.
Damn, we need to have you on the show again and just like trade stories
stuff to talk
for
about,
an hour.
Man. Yeah, we could just go through all these stories.
Yeah, we got to pick some themes and we just got to do this again.
Just go forth and conquer.
This is too much fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and equally, you guys should come on Odd Trails. It's a lot more appropriate.
Yes.
My co-host and I, what we do with the format of Odd Trails is we do it just like Let's Not Meet. We'll narrate some stories, and then the last half of the show, we'll talk about the stories and chat. But yeah, it'd be great to have you guys on, tell some stories, and we can chat about it and kind of just do this there in that space.
We would love to.
That would be a dream.
Yeah.
That would be a lucid dream.
It would.
Yeah. Sorry for rambling on so much, though. It seems...
No,
don't be at all.
Amazing.
This was like a fun little like
campfire chat.
It was like camp that we never got to go to.
Exactly.
Well, Andrew from Let's Not Meet in Odd Trails, thank you so much for coming on.
And guys, you go listen to the shows.
Yes.
You will not be disappointed.
Yeah,
he has the most soothing voice ever.
Yeah, so thank you. I appreciate that. If you guys want to check out all my stuff, you can go to crypticcountypodcasts.com. There you'll find both Let's Not Meet and Odd Trails, as well as my other podcasts that I do called Old Time Radio Cast, where I remaster old time radio horror plays. And then I have a new podcast coming out next month with association with Cloud 10 called Welcome to Paradise, It Sucks. It's going to be very similar to Let's Not Meet, but we're telling nightmare vacation stories, and we're going to be talking to the people that experienced them. I'm excited about that.
I love that.
You can subscribe to that wherever as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, and we'll link all of those in the show notes too, so it's easier for people to get to them. And yeah, this was so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
This was a blast.
And guys, we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it weird.
But not so weird that you don't go check out all of Andrew's podcasts. Bye.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.
Hey, listeners, I'm Ash.
And I'm Alaina.
And we are so excited to have joined the Sirius XM family.
And you know what? If you want to keep hearing new episodes of Morbid ad-free, subscribe to Sirius XM Podcast Plus on Apple Podcasts or visit SiriusXM.com/podcasts plus to listen with Spotify or another app of your choice. Let's go.